Sairam. You're listening to Sai SOUL 100, a weekly podcast series with soul, or stories of unconditional love, shared by devotees of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba in celebration of his 100th birthday. We invite you to listen in on these motivational stories of his constant loving presence in devotees' lives, offered at his lotus feet by the Sri Satya Sai International Organization USA, Mid-Atlantic region. Welcome to Sai SOUL 100.
Sairam, dear listeners, welcome to Sai SOUL 100. Our guest today is Sister Srijaya Poduri, who is joining us from Herndon, Virginia. She'll be sharing her journey and experiences as a child at Swami's elementary school in Puttaparthi during the years of late 1990s. Sairam, Sister Srijaya, welcome to Sai SOUL 100.
Sairam, sister.
Thank you. Please share your story.
I was actually born and brought up in Puttaparthi, because of which my mother wanted me to join the school too. So in one of the interviews, she had asked Swami if she could put me in the school, me and my brother. I have an older brother. By his grace, he gave us the permission to join the school. So both of us joined the school, and I joined the school in my second grade. So Swami gave me the opportunity to be a part of his educational institution. In the beginning, it was very new to me because I used to only see everyone from the Prashanthi Nilayam, all the kids dressed in white coming, sitting over there, and Swami used to give some prasadam, candies, and pencils sometimes. So all these used to look very, wow, I'm going to get something today. So I'm going to, if I be a part of that, hopefully, so I can also get all this stuff from Swami. So that was how I used to keep thinking. And then when I got an opportunity to join his school, so in the beginning, our teachers used to tell us, like, see, he's Swami, and because we all were very young and small, leaving our parents aside, so we would not know very much what it used to be over there. So my teachers and everyone, they used to tell us, see, this is Swami, you should pray to him every day. Every Thursdays and Sundays, we used to get an opportunity to go for darshan. So Swami used to come in the mornings, and then we all used to come by 8:30 in the morning for darshan of Swami. So initially, our teachers used to tell us that he's your mother, he's your father. So all these small things, how to connect to him, so that we don't feel much of out of place, like homesickness, because we all were very small at that time. So that's how our teachers used to, put in us about Swami every single day. But what used to strike me the most was whenever we used to go and sit for darshan, Swami used to, like when Swami used to call some brothers, ask them to pick up the sweet baskets, because some of the devotees used to get sweets and some used to sometimes get cakes. So there used to be many sort of things that kids would love to have, like candy, sweets, cakes, and all that. So I used to be waiting, okay, when will Swami give me now? Why bhajans are over? Aarti is going to start. Why am I not getting anything right now? So this was all I used to be looking at. After thinking that, I think in a couple of minutes, yes, Swami used to call some brother or our headmistress auntie or our teachers and say, come on, distribute this. So it used to be like immediately he answered my prayer. Yes, we are getting something now. So in the beginning, it was like I used to only see him as my Santa Claus, who is ready to give me whatever I ask him for. Be it, sometimes he used to give us, apart from sweets, we used to get mementos like keychains with Swami's picture on it, or sometimes we used to get pens. Whatever comes to Swami from other devotees, it used to first be given to the primary school, because we were the small kids over there. So anything that comes to him used to first be given. First preference was Swami's primary school kids. So so many things I barely remember how many he really gave me, because whenever I used to go and ask him, Swami, I want this. I don't know. In some couple of minutes, I used to get that whatever I see in the darshan. So in the initial years, it went on like this. And this somehow made me feel good, though I was away from home. I didn't feel that homesickness, like, okay, I'm missing my parents, I'm not having my brother around, I'm not having my parents around. But somehow, indirectly, Swami was the main reason for me being comfortable in the school. which actually that is the purpose I think he put me over there. So I used to just be waiting for Thursdays, Sundays, go happily sit, get whatever I want, come back. And then I used to, very happily continue in our school curriculum. We had studies and then we had games to play. And really, Swami put such wonderful teachers over there who used to make us feel just at home. I personally never had the feeling that, okay, I'm away from home, my mother is not here. I never had those kind of feelings because our teachers, they were exactly, I would look at them as our mothers, the way they used to take care of us. So keeping all this, seeing all this, I was like, wow, the school is very nice. I don't want to go back home. We used to get 2 months, April and May, and we used to return to school by the month of June. But I used to feel bad. Okay, are we going back home? Am I going to get anything else? I won't be getting from Swami anything else now for these 2 months. So this was how I used to look up to him and make myself feel very, comfortable and happy. And then this was how it was continuing, and I was like, yes, he's just my Santa Claus. He will give me whatever I want to have. But then when I entered my, if I'm not wrong, in my 6th grade, there was this teacher, I still remember her name. We used to call her Vijay Lakshmi ma'am. So she was the one, and she, after we coming to the 6th grade, so slowly she used to tell us, like, how you should look up to Swami as, because you all are grown up now. And she used to ask us just casually in the human values class, like, what is Swami to you? It used to be a very casual interaction with the teacher and us. So she used to very casually ask us, like, okay, why did you join the school? How do you look up to Swami as? What is Swami for you? So we used to have this frequent informal discussions with her. And then in one such class, when we all were discussing about our relations with Swami and how, there are some non devotees who don't believe Swami, but still they come to school. So all these kind of discussions were going on. And then one day she told us, okay, since all of you have different concepts about who Swami is and what is Swami to you all, I would just give you all just one advice. Why don't you all just take him as your friend and start talking to him? That is the easiest and the best way, to just have a good relation rapport with Swami. You won't feel that Swami is an outside person. You'll feel that he's yours. So this was a very casual thing which she said at that point of time. I felt it very casual, but at the same time I thought, yeah, why don't I try this? Why don't I start looking? She used to tell us that whenever you feel low, or whenever, because you all are far away from parents, and this is an age you might feel that you need your parents because you all are growing older. And sometimes you might feel that, yes, I don't have anyone to share anything. At that time, why don't you just, there's a beautiful prayer hall in the school. So she used to tell us, why don't you just go there, sit for some time, and instead of praying, just look at any of Swami's photos and just start talking to him. Just tell him what all things you did and what all you would like to do. Some things which you cannot share with your teachers or your friends. You can just start talking to him like that, and you see there will be a difference. I was like, first, when she was telling me, it didn't strike me that hard. But later on, after some time, I thought, okay, let me try this. Why shouldn't I try this kind of relation with Swami? So then slowly I began. There was some couple of instances, like generally getting low marks in subjects, or some fight with, at that age, probably that was the biggest fear, getting less marks in a subject where parents will get to know, and or having a fight with one of my best friends. So all these things used to happen at that time. So one day something like that happened, and I just went to the prayer hall in the night before going to bed, and I just sat over there and I just started telling everything to Swami. And actually, in the prayer, Swami has been innumerable times to that prayer hall, giving discourses, just giving darshan many times in the prayer hall. And we have one big life-size photo of Swami. It's given by himself a couple of years back, and it is such an eye contact photo that wherever we sit in the prayer hall, you'll see that he's looking at you. It's like he's right in front of you. So after I seen that photo, and after I thought, okay, let me just tell you what all happened today, and I started talking to him. And then I thought, okay, it's getting late, let me just go back. But after some time, I realized the next day or something, I felt very light within myself. And I thought, wow, this is such a good way of, communicating and, making myself feel very light and happy. I started to feel very, okay, there's nothing to hide from you now. I started talking to him even internally. Like, if suppose something is happening to me, internally I'm telling him, Swami, see now, right now I'm in this position. What do you want me to do? But I became very dependent on him. Like in many situations, like whatever, if even in the class, if the teacher is telling something and I'm not able to understand, I'm like, Swami, I'm not able to understand. So it became such a big part of me that without my knowledge, every single thing what I'm doing, I'm telling him simultaneously. But after doing this and after getting that close contact with him, and I felt, yes, he's no longer away from me. So this was going on for a long time, and I started feeling very happy that I was actually grateful to my teacher for, giving us such an advice, and so that I could practice this. And as it was going on like this, going on continuously talking to him, and even if I don't get an answer from him at that point of time, but for me, the most important thing was, did I tell him or not? Did I convey it to him or not? It's up to him when he's going to respond to me, or I might not even get that response, or I might not even get that solution for the problem I shared with him. But did I just tell it out to him? Sometimes, if I used to forget the whole day, I used to go to the prayer hall, make sure that I go to the prayer hall in the night, to sit over there, talk to him at least for some time, and then go to bed. This became such a big routine for me, and I used to make sure that I don't miss it. So that's how it went on for quite a long time. And then I remember in the eighth standard, we generally have, like everyone knows, we have the November 19th as a ladies' day celebrated in Prashanti Nilayam every year. And every year, November 19th, girl students of Sri Satsai Primary School are given an opportunity to perform in front of Swami. So, totally devoted to girls that day. So, every year, everyone used to look up to being a part of that presentation in front of Swami. At that year, when I was in my eighth grade, one of the dance teachers wanted one eighth grade student to fill in a spot for the performance. It was already the older girls, like 10th, 11th, 12th grade kids, were already selected for the performance. We were going to give a dance performance in front of Swami. So by then, the selections had already been done and everything was already ready by the teachers, but they just wanted one spot to be filled in. So I remember we all were in our dormitories and our teachers came all with all the final selection done. And then they put this question in front of us like, we want only one spot is left to be filled and we want to take the child from eighth grade. We would think that eighth grade student would fit in better. I had never learned classical dance outside. Like whenever I used to go home for summer vacations, I never learned. But whatever I used to learn, I learned it in school, looking at the other kids doing. And, I used to just like to do behind them. And sometimes our teachers used to say, come, let's do it. That's okay. Whatever try to do it. So that's how I learned Bharatanatyam in the school itself. So at that point of time, I was like, I just wanted to perform once. I want to see how it will go. And then my teacher said, okay. I had one more friend of mine, and the teacher came in and told us that I want an audition for both of you. I want to see how it's going to look like. And we both were of the same height. So she wanted our height in that spot. So I was like, okay, Swami, now get ready. I'm going to perform and you make sure that I will be selected. That was the first thing I told him immediately as soon as the teacher came to him. I like it's conveyed outside and internally I conveyed it to him. Now it's your, you get ready and make sure that I get selected. And I was like, no, 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 Swami, it's okay, even if I'm not selected, but my friend also should be selected. I had again that conflict. She should not feel sad, so make sure that she's also selected. So continuously, I was talking to him inside, and at the same time, we gave our auditions, me and my friend. And then our headmistress auntie, warden auntie, all the teachers in the school, and almost all the students had gathered that day to see who is that one soul who is going to get that opportunity to dance in front of Swami. So it was really nervous, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to you do what you like to do. This was what I was talking to him inside. And then after the performance, our teacher said, okay, both of you go and wait outside. I will let you know what's the result. So, and she closed the door. So me and my friend, both of us, she was talking to me something, but I was literally giving him orders. You better make sure I'm selected. You better make sure I'm selected. This was what I was going on in my mind. And then I was like, I really want an opportunity to dance in front of you, Swami. One opportunity, please, one opportunity. So it was like continuous talking to him. While I was just doing that, my teacher opened the door and she said, "Okay, Srijaya, you're in." It's like, Swami, I didn't know what to tell him. I was like, "Thank you. You had to do this for me." And I just walked inside. And then after that, I was like, okay, it's just going to be pure Bharatanatyam dance, right? Okay, I'm selected in now. There's nothing else. So I can, do the dance, whatever the teachers ask me to. But then after getting in, I realized that we had to do a dance with having plates under our feet and a pot on our head. I was like, okay, Swami, now I understood why I kept on telling you, take me in, take me in. And now you really put me in such a situation. I had never earlier danced with a plate below and a pot on my head. I had just done classical dance in our sports and cultural meets, but I never did this kind of dance any time in my life. I was like, okay, you are really a taskmaster. Very cleverly. You gave me what I wanted. At the same time, you put me in such a situation. Like, now I was really, should I be there? Should I tell my teacher, no, I don't want to be there? What should I do now? Because it was better if I tell her that I could not do it. I should tell her in the initial stages itself before the big practice starts. And I think there was only 1 month or so for the final performance. And then I had no choice. I was like, okay, Swami, if you have really put me in this, then I think you want me to just learn, the tough ways also. It was then I realized, I think that was the first experience which made me realize that he gives you what we want, but at the same time, he makes sure that you learn how to get it. You should be more deserving to get it. He puts us all the situation so that we come out for the best. So it was then it struck me, he's something just more beyond a friend whom I'm talking to. Every day I just talk to him. But at that point I realized, no, he's like, a mother who's like, he will take care of you very soothingly, very softly. He will let you do everything. At the same time, he will make sure that you learn life in a harder way, getting the good result. So at that time, then I thought, okay, because I asked you, you gave me this, I'll make sure that I achieve this. And every day it was very challenging though, because having plates under and dancing with a pot, getting that balance was very tough initially. And there were really some hard times when our feet used to get cracked because of the plates that we used to dance on. And like I said, I never thought of my parents, but from the time I joined the school, like for me, school was like very happy place and very, oh, I'm enjoying life. That was what I used to look at. But at that time, I realized, okay, when I started getting into pain slowly, then I realized I need my parents too. So all these kind of emotions, he made me go through every single thing. And then after that, before the performance, I think just one night before the performance, like how generally even anywhere else when we are going to give a stage performance or anything, we are asked to take us dress rehearsal, a costume rehearsal, and make sure that all our jewelry, our dress, everything is in a good condition. So likewise, even just one night before the final performance, we all wore the costumes, the jewelry, everything. And then our headmistress auntie wanted to check if everything was good and going on well. And so after that, that night when she called all of us to the prayer hall, and then we all wore our costumes, everything was good. And then she noticed that I didn't put on my earrings. And then she was like, why, what happened? There are no earrings for you. I said, no, I don't have my ears pierced, so I cannot put earrings. She said, no, Jay, you have to have your ears pierced, because I'm not going to give you any thread to tie the earrings. It might fall down during a performance, and I don't want to take that chance. And then I was like, auntie, but my mom wanted Swami to pierce my ears, and that's why it's been this long that I haven't got my ears pierced. She said, I know all that, I can understand all that, but I cannot, assure you that trying or doing something else will not affect the performance. I need your ears pierced right away. And immediately, as soon as she said that, I turned, we were in the prayer hall, so I turned towards Swami's photo and I was like, now what situation did you put me in? And what should I do? Tomorrow morning is the performance, and my ears are not pierced, and I have no other way out. I have to wear the earrings. And then, as I was just talking like this to Swami's photo, headmistress auntie came back and she told me, Jaya, why don't you do one thing? This prayer hall has been blessed by Swami innumerable number of times. You know that. So why don't you just sit here? I'll call the. We had a doctor auntie who used to look at our, who used to look after our medical needs. I'll call her and she will just pierce the ears right in front of Swami. I was like, yeah, this is something because I can see him standing here. And that photo, like I said, is like he's right in front of our eyes. So it's like under his guidance, I'm getting my ears pierced, and that too for a performance in front of him. So I was in that situation. Then I felt somehow he brings out the solution for all the it's a very tiny thing. It's a very tiny issue, actually. It's not such a big problem. But he makes sure that even the tiniest of the problem is solved in a very soothing way without any, pain or any sort of agitation. And then when the doctor auntie came, she just don't worry, I will apply medicine and just get your ears pierced. You just keep looking at Swami's photo. And as she said that, she made me sit right in front of Swami's photo, and they got my ears pierced. And I was like, okay, Swami, now I'm, thank you so much. So it's indirectly, you have only done the piercing. My mother wanted you to do it for me, but yeah, this is what you willed it for. And then finally, at the end, as November 19th came, when I danced in front of him with the plate and pot, every single practice, literally, I used to trip something or the other. I used to have some confusion or something going on. But the final presentation when we gave in front of Swami, it was like nothing happened. It was flawless. I myself was, taken aback that I had given such a flawless performance in front of him. And that was all because of him. He made me go through all the, procedure, the process, and made a different person out of myself. That experience totally changed my perspective. Swami had come down. He was very happy looking at the performance. And the biggest twist was, after we put the pots on our head on the final day of performance, my headmistress auntie came with a lamp inside the pot. And this wasn't there during the practices. So I was like, okay, another challenge. Do you really mean it? And then after that, like he willed it, it was a flawless performance. It was the first and the last performance directly given by me in front of Swami. But as like, apart from the performance and apart from the ladies day event, all that, I learned a very big lesson from him. He directly taught me that he's unpredictable. We can never predict anything what he's going to give us or do it. But what I realized at that point of time is, he will give us the best. If you just leave it to him, he's sure that he will give you the best. But all that we need to do is to just leave it entirely to him. It was at that time, that was the biggest lesson I learned at that point of time, at that age, that yes, if you trust him, he's not going to leave your hand.
Sairam, Srijaya, thank you so much for this really heartwarming, very sweet story with many life lessons. You mentioned that Swami truly is unpredictable, but will give only the best if you've truly surrendered to him. And that's the lesson that you have learned. But starting from Swami being a Santa Claus to you, and then to a friend, and then becoming God. Such a beautiful story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Sairam, dear listeners, thank you for listening to Sai Soul 100 with Sister Srijaya Poduri. I'm Prabha Swaminathan. Until next time, Jai Sairam.